my wonderful and lovely students. It's Miss Turner. I'm making these videos to kind of help you all review previous concepts that we've covered in class. These are just going to be from 6.3, which is the California Gold Rush and Manifest Destiny, 6.4, which is all about the religious movements and the various reform movements during the 1800s, 6.5, which is about the Abolition Movement, and 6.6, which is about the women's rights movement. And you already know what this book is, so hopefully you're rereading those sections to kind of help you remember what we've covered in class already. These videos that I'm going to be posting weekly are going to be refresher videos. I'm going to be going through the Prezi slides again, covering what I already discussed in our lectures during class time. This video and the videos in the future are going to be ones that are going to help you build up the knowledge that you already have about these events. So if you forgot something, or a person that we talked about, or an event, if you just don't remember, these videos are going to help you review, just so when we come back, none of the information that we learned in the past month doesn't go away. This is supposed to help you. This is another enrichment tool that you can view and watch at any time. You can watch it multiple times if you want, that'd be great. Just so you're not losing all of the stuff that we've been working so hard on at school. And before I start the history video today, I want to do a little shout out to all my students. You guys are all so wonderful, and I really miss you guys. I'm already bored on day 3. I miss you all so much. Even when you think I'm annoyed with you, I'm not. And I love all of you so much. You guys are like my kids. I don't have any kids. You guys are like my kids. I'm very protective over you guys and worrying about you all every single day since we've been off. And I still will be worrying about you guys till I see you guys again. So just know that Miss Turner really misses you guys. I miss our conversations we have during class. I miss the jokes, us goofing around and being silly. I miss you guys doing your work, staying focused. I miss how excited you guys get when we do a mystery person for the day. Sadly, we won't be able to do a mystery person for the month. Miss Turner is going to be the mystery person for the month. Sorry, guys. And I just miss just hearing you guys communicate with each other about U.S. history. I miss it all. I can't wait till we get back to school so I can see all your faces again and it could all be back to normal. But for the time being, I'm going to be doing these videos once a week to help you, okay? Because again, you know Miss Turner is all about wanting to make sure that you guys have the best opportunity, all the help you can get. I make sure you're checking out the Weebly. There's some enrichment activities that you could do. I recommend you try a little bit of them just to kind of have refresher and to remember the events. Also, check out Pearson. There's some activities on there that you can look at. I did make some Kahoot games for 6.4 to 6.6, and I added the one for 6.1 and 6.3 that you can play. There's also some videos you can watch, like Mr. Betts. I know this video is not going to be as cool as Mr. Betts' videos that we watch in class, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm going to be calling these videos, because I just don't want it to be a generic video, you know? I'm going to call them History Talks with Turner, since I'm Miss Turner. So hopefully you guys like this, and we're going to get going. We're going to be talking about America Achieves Manifest Destiny. Hopefully by now, after we've covered it, and I've said it over and over and over and over again, that Manifest Destiny was this huge belief that God said that the United States was supposed to expand all the way out to the Pacific. no matter the cost.
Here is the Prezi presentation. Before I dive into the different slides, remember that this section starts with the end of the Mexican War. So remember, this war started in 1846 and ended in 1848, so more than a year and a half of fighting between Mexico and the U.S. And this war kind of started with this whole boundary dispute on where Texas ended. So where was the boundary ending? Mexico said it was the Nueces River, and anything past that out west belonged to Mexico. And the U.S. said, no, the boundary of Texas is the Rio Grande. That kind of sparked the fighting between Mexico and the U.S. So there was fighting going on for more than a year and a half. America's winning majority of the battles. So they end the war, and Mexico and the U.S. signed a treaty called the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. And in that treaty, the terms were that the U.S. gained New Mexico territory and the California territory, and Mexico also recognizes Texas's boundary to be the Rio Grande. And a couple years later, in 1853, we signed another treaty with Mexico, so we gained more of their land. We spent $10 million on this, called the Gadsden Purchase, and we obtained 29,000 square miles in southern Arizona. We wanted this to build a railroad out west, so we wanted that land that Mexico had. We bought it for them, again, $10 million. And because of that purchase and because of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, we have finally achieved manifest destiny, or God's plan, God's plan, God's plan, like Drake. Nope, no one's laughing. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to be talking about the gold rush in California. So here we go. Many people are traveling out west for a new life or farmland. But there's an event that happens in California that causes a huge rush, no pun intended, out west for some gold. In 1848, so you see this slide here, John Sutter, he wanted to build a sawmill, which you see pictured on that slide. He was wanting to build this sawmill on the American River just north of Sacramento, okay, in California. James Marshall, he was in charge of the construction of this mill. And on January 24th, him and his men were working one day, and Marshall was set out to inspect a ditch that his crew was digging up for this sawmill. And what he saw was very surprising and made him very excited. When he saw the ditch, he saw gold shining and glistening. And in a few days, word spread all the way to San Francisco about this strike of gold. And everyone in San Francisco and parts of California started to go. And now, word of this gold strike, this gold rush, this gold fever spreads all across the U.S., which you see on this slide. You're like, hey, there's gold in them hills. I heard there's gold in California. Hashtag California gold. And they're pretending to do the whoa or the renegade. They're all excited. So now people are traveling more out west to California because they want a get-rich-quick scheme. They think that's what's going to happen when they go to California to search for gold. So you see, now we got the whole U.S. moving out to California. Now this whole gold fever is spread throughout the whole world. The whole world hears the news about gold in California. And everyone's like, yes, I'm going to pick up my stuff, travel to Cali, dig up some gold, and become rich. So, for example, people from Europe came over, South America came over, Australia, China. I kind of want to stop and talk about the Chinese for a second. So the Chinese faced many risks to come over all the way to California, or California that way, and then here. So it was a penalty if you tried to leave China. You'd be found, you'd be arrested, you'd be beheaded. So if you were caught, you died. But still, many Chinese took the risk and journeyed to California in hopes for this gold. And many of the Chinese did stay in California after the gold rush died down, and they helped the state out by helping with farming and their irrigation systems, but they were faced with discrimination for decades. People were judging them for decades to come. So many people, like the US, they traveled the trails. They took the trails out west to California. But the other people, some took the journey down South America to California, or some took this land passage in Panama called the Isthmus to California. And this all happened in a very short amount of time. If you see on the slide, more than 80,000 people journeyed to California. And at the time, California wasn't hugely populated like we know today. California has a huge population today. But before, there wasn't many people there. But because of this whole gold rush movement, we are getting more people now to California. The people that worked in the fields during that time were called the 49ers. They're called the 49ers because the California Gold Rush took place in 1849. Very unique. And at first, the miners needed little skill to find the gold or to dig up the gold, because the gold was near the surface and people could dig it out with knives. Later, they loaded sand and gravel from the riverbed where they were searching for, and they would put it into a washing pan. And I'm going to show you what that washing pan looks like on the next slide. So here is the washing pan that they use. You can see kind of pictured here. So again, they would load up sand and gravel from the riverbed. They would put it in a washing pan. Then they would hold the pan under the water of the river, and they would shake it. And all the light gravel and sand, because it's not heavy, would get out and go back into the water. But the gold, which is heavier than the sand and gravel, would stay in the pan. And you'd lift the pan up, again, you lift this pan up, and then there's your gold. They also used hydraulic mining once they couldn't use, or it was difficult to find gold using this panning. Okay, the hydraulic mining, they used jets of water to erode gravel hills into these lines of artificial water channel that had grooves in it, and a current of water would go in those grooves, and it would separate the sand and gravel in one groove and the gold in the other. So it was easier to catch the gold. But with this hydraulic mining came some negatives. The negatives were that it was damaging our environment in California. It was clogging up the rivers with a lot of gravel, rocks, or another term is sediments, and it started leveling off the hills. So it wasn't the best thing. It was a quicker way to find the gold, but again, it damaged our environment. So here we have this slide. The camps were very diverse because of all the various people coming over to work. So it had all different populations. If you were in one of these mining camps, you'd see runaway slave working, Mexicans, white Americans, people from Europe, the Irish, for example, the Chinese, people from Peru, people from Chile, people from Australia, etc. There was all these various different dynamics in different cultures. And because of this, California, when we start talking later, becomes very diverse. It has a very diverse culture because of all these various people coming over. And all these people had the one goal in mind: to become rich, to get gold, to become wealthy and famous. But the reality is, very few miners became wealthy or became rich. Many miners left the gold fields and stayed in California and got other jobs. So you see here, these groups of people that took the law into their own hands are called vigilantes. They're going to take the law into their own hands. So the miners in these camps, they became vigilantes or self-appointed law enforcers, and they dealt out punishment that they thought was right, even though they had no legal power to do so. So like, for example, which I've given in class, is like Batman or Superman or Aquaman. Sorry guys, I really don't like Marvel, so I'm just gonna list off DC characters. So these people wanted to be law enforcers, even though they had no legal power to do so. And sometimes an accused criminal that was found by these vigilantes, which are pictured here, those accused criminals would be lynched or hanged without a legal trial. And that's what these vigilantes thought was best. And it started to cause chaos in California. So because of these lynchings and the vigilantes taking matters into their own hands, California realizes, oh shoot, we need to make an organized government, we need to have a state constitution, we need to apply for statehood to join the Union, to join the US. So California drafted a state constitution in 1849, and they requested to become a state in the US. And this request caused an uproar in the government. From previous conversation what I just had, people, they had this belief everything should be balanced. The free states, slave states, everything needs to be balanced. And is this going to be a free state? Is this going to be a slave state? We already added Texas as a slave state. So is this California going to be a slave state? Caused a huge debate and discussion. And it became very heated for this. And if you recall, all of this happened where California became independent, kind of backpedaling a little bit, which you see right here. They became independent republic in 1846 after the Bear Flag Revolt during the Mexican War, okay? So they were independent, but they were not a state yet. So now in 1849, they wrote their state constitution. They asked to become a state. And finally, in 1850, California becomes a state, and they become a free state. Okay, so this kind of wraps up the slides. Okay, but I just kind of want to talk a little bit more about kind of what happens after. So in 1850, California now has a huge mix of people, all because of the gold rush in 1849, like I said previously. There's all these groups of people working in these mining camps, but majority of them were the white Americans, okay? And when the Chinese people started staking their claims in these gold fields during the gold rush, the miners drove them off. They didn't like that. So that kind of started this whole discrimination against the Chinese.
So next week, I will be creating 6.4, a Religious Awakening Sparks Reform review. So all the various reform movements that we talked about, like the Second Great Awakening, prison reform, mentally ill reform, public education, the temperance movement. I'm going to be reviewing and recapping that section. And the following week, I'll do the Abolition Movement. Then the next week, I'll be talking about women's rights movement. I hope these videos are going to be a good tool for you. I'm sorry about the quality of my webcam. Not one of like those famous YouTubers that has the ring light or whatever. I will be posting the next video on Tuesday next week, which is Miss Turner's birthday. Just a hint. Just to remember. When we come back, we are definitely celebrating my birthday. Just a heads up. We're gonna have some fun. So before I leave, I kind of want to do another shout out, but it's going to be specific based on my hours. If you want me to shout you out in the next video, you can comment. I'm obviously not going to say your last name. I'll just say your first name. Okay. I just kind of want to do little shout outs and end with a positive message because you know Ms. Turner is all about positive vibes. I'm sending them out to you right now as we speak. So I'm going to start off with my second hour. I'm kind of reading off something. Sorry. Just a heads up, when I was writing this down, I was so emotional. And I was tearing up because I miss you guys and I care about you all so much. So to my second hour, you're my start of my day. Since I do have first hour prep, you guys are the first kids I see all day. You are all so wonderful and so caring. I miss you all so much, and I'm worrying about you all so much. And I miss how respectful everyone is in that room, how we can goof around, and I just love how everyone just gets along in that classroom during second hour. I love it. To my small classroom, class size, and great and fantastic third hour. You're my smallest class size, being 23. And right before lunch, I miss all my jokesters. You know who you are. I miss you all. I miss all your jokes. I also am thinking about you guys too every single day and worrying about every single one of you. And just know that if I can even talk, you all are so incredible. Don't ever forget that. And I appreciate all of you. Even when you're not being so nice to me, I still appreciate and care about you guys. To my after lunch crew, shout out fourth hour. Also my biggest class with 32. Every desk is full. I miss the joking around with you all. I love how silly you guys are, energetic. You all are so... If I can even speak, I can't speak right now because it's just so emotional and so... You all are so missed. Ms. Turner really misses you all and appreciates every single one of you in the class. You all bring in something special, and I thank you all. And I'm thinking about you guys too. To my hilarious and always keeping me on my toes fifth hour. Always keeping me on my toes. I'm always surprised. I can always tell how the vibe is before the bell rings. I love your positive energy all the time. I love how energetic you all are. I love how excited you guys get when we talk about U.S. history and Ms. Turner teaching you all. I just love how excited you guys get. I love how you love Mystery Person so much. You guys ask me every single day if we're doing a Mystery Person, and you guys get so upset when I say I'm Mystery Person. And I love how excited you get for social studies, especially the Reader's Theater. You all just blow away with the voices. I love it. I just love it. It's so funny. I miss you all, and I worry about you all, and hopefully you all are doing well. Same with my fourth, third, and second. Hopefully you're all doing well. Last but not least, the last class I see for the day is my sixth hour. This hour that just loves to test Ms. Turner every day, which I appreciate that because you're helping me become a better teacher. And I appreciate every single one of you. And you all have been trying really hard and working to improve. And I know you're at the end of the day, and I understand that. And I like how we have good conversations with each other about how we can improve. And I really appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate you all, and I care about you all so, so much. And I thank you guys for being in my 6th hour. Okay? Don't ever forget that. Miss Turner cares about you guys so, 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 so much. Okay? So I'm going to end with a positive message. Kind of like Ellen DeGeneres. She says, please be kind to everyone. I know we're not seeing each other every single day, but still be respectful and kind to every single person that you come in contact with, especially because this is all new for every single one of us. Please be kind, okay? You know Miss Turner is all about respect. That's a huge thing. I love people that are respectful. Love it. So just do it. Do a little random act of kindness. Send your friend a text saying, hey, hopefully you're doing well. Or, hey, checking up on you. Or be nice to your parents. Maybe ask to do a chore or something. Help out. Be kind. And please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Please make good choices. Please, please. Okay? And I'm sending you all positive vibes again. And I miss you all terribly. And I care about you all. And I will see you next week in my next video. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that's going on with social studies for this whole month off, again, please check the Weebly, check out Pearson, email me. You can message through Remind. I know I did switch over a couple people to a second class because the max class is 150, and I had 160 people on my Remind. So if you're on a new class, I'm sending the same messages back and forth. Just look for that communication and just read a book, look things over as a refresher, maybe work on a couple of your error reform activities. But other than that, just make sure that you're staying safe, and hopefully you guys like this better than Mr. Betts, but probably not because he is amazing. So again, if you want me to shout out your name, just your first name, just put your first name, or just put I do or me, whatever in the comments, because I'm not going to say your full name on a video to respect your privacy. I'll just say your name, or I'll do shout outs again based on hours. Again, personalize them for you. Just know I'm thinking about you and I really care about you all. And hopefully you have a good day. And if you want to watch this video again, I'd like it. Like the video. And stay tuned.
And stay healthy.